Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is about SUI. SUI is slowly becoming one of my favorite altcoins. Solana is my top L1 and SUI is creeping up there. So they have a lot of big announcements. They had a base camp recently in Dubai. A lot of big things were announced and the price of SUI has gone from $2 up to $4. But that's not where it ends. I think it's going to go much higher than that. I don't want to put a cap on the price. I just think it's going to go much more higher than $4. So if you're a fan of SUI, follow this video. If you like the video, please hit that like button. And you want to see more of my content, please subscribe to the channel. But I'm a big fan of SUI, and I think SUI will mint some millionaires this bull cycle. Right now things are turning around. Bitcoin's over 100 grand. So we love to see all of that. But if we look at the price of SUI right now, this is CoinMarketCap, we see that SUI sits at number 11. So almost at the top 10. If you take out the stable coins, we're there. It's in the top 10. But the price of SUI at the time of the video is $4.08. For the past 7 days, SUI is up 22%. And we'll go into why I believe some of that has caused the price to go up. But we see a market cap of 13.6 billion and 24-hour volume at 1.5 billion, right? Let's take a look at the chart real quick, and I'm going to show you what let's do 1 month. 1 month chart shows the price was at $2.22. Overall, the crypto market was pretty low, right? We had the tariff talk and all of that. But the price has almost doubled since then. So we're at $4 now. The all-time high for SUI was around, let's say, $5 or so. Around $5.29. So we're not even at all-time high yet. So the potential is still there for you to make a little bit of gain, almost guaranteed. I don't like to guarantee anything because I'm not a financial advisor. But if we see where the price of Bitcoin is headed, where analysts are saying Bitcoin will head, where we know the crypto space will head, it's just a matter of time before this project, as well as everything else I'm going to show you, this price can definitely hit $8 or even higher. So let's take a look at smart money. This is CoinShares. Week ending last week, we see that there was an inflow of institutional money, hedge funds, companies and the like, of $11.7 million into SUI. Now that is more than XRP. That is more than Ethereum. That is more than Litecoin, more than Cardano. Institutions are betting big on SUI. The only other higher asset that had more inflows was Bitcoin. Obviously, they have spot ETFs, BlackRock, and MicroStrategy buying, so you already know. They're at 867 million. But if we look at the year flows as far as institutional investments, SUI has 84 million, right? So that, they recognize something in this project, and I hope you do too. Also, part of the reason for the rise, the 22% increase, is there's rumors that they may be in affiliation with Pokemon. Pokemon is huge, right? We know Pokemon is valuable. Adults and kids alike, they're into it. And some of these cards that you can collect are worth a lot of money. And I think the good use case for this would be blockchain, and this type of project like Pokemon is a match made in heaven. You want to protect the authenticity, make sure you're not being scammed. You can see who owned the card, where the card was purchased. All of that, right? All tracked on the blockchain. But on April 23rd, Pokemon Home added a metal collection feature and quietly amended its privacy policy to include Parasol Technologies as an approved developer permitted to receive user data. Now, what does that have to do with SUI? Well, Parasol is a blockchain gaming studio that was recently acquired by Miston Labs. Miston Labs is behind SUI. So if you put two and two together, a lot of people are speculating that there's going to be an announced partnership here in the near future. That would be awesome. If that were ever confirmed and announced, the price of SUI, that's just one catalyst, will go straight up, right? Then we have 21 shares. They announced Basecamp in Dubai that they are filing for a U.S. spot ETF for SUI. We know that there are other ones in the wings. We have Solana, we have Litecoin, we have XRP. So we'll see how things happen. We know that here in the U.S. we have a friendlier SEC chair, SEC department, and SUI is a U.S.-based company. So is Solana. So the odds of this being approved is pretty good. And if that happens, that's another catalyst as to why that price will go higher, much higher. So that's positive. Also, SUI and Stacks. Stacks is a L2 for Bitcoin, allows for liquidity and DeFi and all of that. That's also coming to SUI, and that was announced at Basecamp. So that is positive. Then we have something called Fireblocks. So Fireblocks is basically assisting institutions into getting into crypto. You know, it's going to allow for basically secure transactions, allow institutions to stake certain projects, specifically probably SUI, but that's also in the works. So institutional access is coming. This is on SUI's Twitter page with secure native custody, staking, and DeFi access soon possible through Fireblocks. That's also getting that institutional adoption will be great. Also, we have this. This is a handheld game, and I want to show you the short video. This was shown during Basecamp, and the thing's already sold out. I think it's being sold for $600 or so, and it's already sold out. So let's take a look at this video here. This is just one component. So we talked about a little bit about DeFi. We talked about, you know, just spot ETFs, and now we have gaming.
Here at SUI Basecamp, we're actually able to get our hands on the new SUI Play. So what we're going to do is we're going to test it out, see how it feels, and everyone's comparing it to the Nintendo Switch 2. So let's go check it out. This is the SUI Play OX1, and it's the upcoming handheld gaming console developed by Miston Labs with Playtron Gaming OS, a Linux-based system optimized for gaming. For this one, expect slash fees, instant cash outs, easy minting, and new dev revenue with easy integration, making this an amazing device not only for traditional games, but for Web3 technology integration as well. The display itself is a 7-inch bezel-less IPS screen with a resolution of 1920 by 1200. Pre-orders are priced in at $599, where payments are accepted in SUI, ETH, Solana, or other cryptocurrencies. Not only will it run your favorite PC titles, but it'll power blockchain-based games like the SUI-powered game like Anxiety, a pop shooter with RPG elements, and Dark Times, a Nordic-inspired medieval brawler royale. Plus, speaking of innovation, this is going to feature G-Dollar, which will be the gaming stablecoin built for this ecosystem. And in terms of getting your own, you can expect to get one around September or Q3 2025.
That is pretty huge, guys. I don't know if you recognize and see the potential for something like this, but it's going to be great. Also, they mentioned, you know, trading money as far as currency on that gaming console between ETH and Solana. And that's because there's a partnership and integration with Phantom, which went live today. So if you have a Phantom wallet, which is very easy to use, it's a Solana wallet. You can see now that there's an integration with SUI. You can now purchase SUI on that wallet and trade within the ecosystem. So it says swap tokens between SUI, ETH, Base, and Solana on Phantom, which makes it a lot easier, especially if you want to get into some meme coins. So that's just more FaceTime, more exposure for SUI. Also here in the US, that they're making a big push for stable coins, and that will be regulated in probably sometime this year, where banks can start issuing stable coins all over, right? Financial institutions. And we know that it is native. Circle USDC is native on SUI. So that's just another thing, another feather in its cap or hat for SUI. Also, Walrus is something they announced. Mainnet went live recently. This is huge. I don't know much about it, but I know it's a big thing. Basically, it's saying max storage, lightning fast. So if you're into that, that's pretty good. So scalable storage that lets you publish, deliver, and program any data on chain. Also, they are into memes as well. So they have a meme community right now. If we look at this, the liquidity and market caps are low. Obviously, if you get into memes, you don't want to get into memes when you're at 1 billion, 2 billion, or whatever the case may be. These are pretty light right now. And if everything I'm seeing about SUI and the traction and the traffic that's coming over to this chain, it's only a matter of time before some of these catch on. So you probably want to get on that train before anything like that happens. This is not financial advice, just some guy talking crap on the internet. But if we look at Artemis, right, and I say all the traction, all the traffic is going to SUI, let's take a look. This is on-chain data. We see that daily active addresses, Solana's at 4.2 million, and look at SUI, the third place at 1.4 million. If we look at daily transactions, Solana's at 1.2 billion and Sui's number 2 at 70 million. Daily active new wallets. Solana's at 2.7 million, Sui 1.1. If we look at DEX volume, let's take a look at that. So DEX volume, we have Solana number 1. Solana has surpassed Ethereum in DEX volume, guys. Solana's at 33.4, Ethereum 19.4, and look at Sui, 6 billion. Third. So again, it's not just me talking, I'm showing you the numbers here. Now, if we look at DeFi, according to the chains here, Sui is number 8. So they're in the top 10 of total value locked, according to DeFi Llama. They have, let's take a look here. They're above Avalanche. They're above Barachain. They're above Aptos. They're above Hyperliquid, which is a leverage play. They're above Say. Sui is not to be slept on, guys. Now look at this. This is something I also found interesting. If we look at stakingrewards.com, right, and we look at the staking ratio of all these top chains, Sui has a staking ratio of 76.3. So over 76% of Sui bought is being staked, not on the market, not being traded. Just think about the impact that's going to have on the price, especially when crypto and altcoin season truly comes. What's going to happen to the price of Sui? So people believe in the project. They're staking it, getting some gains, some interest on the Sui, earning more Sui, helping secure the network. Also, we look at the following on X, social media. We see that they have over 1 million followers on X. So there is a community there. Also, I'm going to leave you with this. We look at Kaleo. Give him a follow on Twitter. He has some good information. He's comparing the charts between the back in the day Solana and current Sui. And there's a eerily common pattern, right? We see that it trades, there's an up, and then you have a down, and then it chops sideways, and then you have that takeoff. And according to him, we're almost at the same point where Solana was back in the day versus Sui. So I don't know, y'all. Go back to CoinMarketCap here. Sui is something that's very, very interesting. It has a use case. They're developing, and it's playing right into the narrative of a strong bull cycle for crypto. And right now, yes, it's almost top 10, but if you look at the market cap of 13 billion, and you look at ADA has 29 billion, Dogecoin 35 billion, Solana 95 billion. I say Sui has some X's coming up. And I see major gains for this project. And I think it's just the beginning as far as the announcements goes and the adoption. So, guys, let me know what you think of Sui. If you think it's a project to hold, if you're stacking your bags. I have a goal of how many Sui I want to hold before things really take off. I'm not currently DCAing into Bitcoin because the price is above 100,000. I'll wait for it to come down a little bit, a bigger pullback. But right now, Sui is one of my biggest stacks. So going forward, I'm going to start looking at some of these smaller projects, some of these smaller altcoins that can return my gains even more. But as far as what I see here and as far as the big caps go, Sui is strong. It's a US-based crypto, friendlier regulation here in the States, and it's just the perfect narrative right now for a project like this. So let me know what you think of Sui. If you like the video, please hit that like button, and see you next time.